pitch it down a little bit, mess with a couple of audio settings that I've since forgotten, and it turns Caramel Dancing into just the most generic boy band listenable thing that you've ever heard.
Hello, and welcome back to The Clash 2. Overheard and UniSFA, a UniSFA podcast.
Every goddamn week, I remember you're going to do the exact same bit, but only when it's too late to do anything about it.
I'm John, that was Cam, and our guest for this week is Winslade.
Oh, that's me. Yeah, hi everybody.
That's him.
That is Winslade.
Another week, another podcast, exams are over, so there's beautiful daylight streaming through the windows as we don't record this at 7 p.m. at night.
The tension holding John together has dissipated and he's more of a gelid man.
What?
You can tell though, you can absolutely tell. I went on holiday literally within 24 hours. Cam was like, "Oh wow, Winslade's got vacation energy."
Yeah, no, you're looking great, dude.
You do have the floral overshirt.
Yeah, I decided to bring as much Florida Winslade energy as I could. I also brought a series of visual gags to the podcast.
Oh, perfect.
See if you can.
Oh, that one's great.
Hello and welcome to Overheard and UniSFA, the vacation episode, the summer episode. When are we having our beach episode?
We could record a podcast at the beach. I don't think that'd go terribly.
Yeah, we can go to the beach. Let's go get away.
Yeah, Nicki Minaj.
Nicki. Say what you're going to say. Yeah, that's basically the premise of this podcast.
We say things no one should say.
How's everyone's week been?
I mean, as aforementioned, vacay.
Yeah, dude.
No, it's been great. You get being able to interact with my friends in some form of daytime Winslade is truly marvelous, and not something that a full-time job man. I mean both. Yeah,
assumedly.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm just a lump.
Sometimes you just turn into a blob.
Stop it! You're getting too real. But yes, yeah, absolutely. Sometimes I am just kind of end zone, and it's not always the best. But I'm been feeling really good. I haven't had to. Yeah.
Winslade, how long have you been in Cam Hall? Because I think I asked someone who the archetypal the Cam Holler was, and they mentioned you since you've been in every club and on every committee.
Oh yeah, sure. So let's talk about my credentials.
Yeah, let's talk about your credentials.
So I have been.
Hey, welcome to the. Hey, I'm really glad you can make it to the interview. We'd just like to ask you a few questions. First, what are your credentials?
Sure. So I am a former UniSFA librarian. I am a former Unigames librarian. I've been on UCC committee. I went on UCC committee again after not realizing that it was a bad choice.
That's how it was at least.
The UCC committee had dramas.
I bit my tongue. It really hurts. Go on.
For a second there, I thought you were so horrified at this notion that committee can have drama.
Oh no, he knows.
I'm sure he does, but it really.
Damn, you really got yourself, dude.
It hurts. Why does it hurt so bad?
Tongue.
I think I got my canine tooth just.
Okay.
Giving yourself the old fucking free piercing.
So, you asked before, how long have I been in Cameron Hall? And I've been here since 2008. That was my first
You're
year.
so 3,000 and late.
I started primary school in 2007.
John, how old do you think I am?
I don't want to...
No, please. I've asked the question. I've opened this door.
Okay, 24?
Oh, I will take that. I will take that to the bank. Oh, please, I wish...
John knows I'm 28.
I knew roughly.
I'm 32.
Wows.
I am old guard.
I'm mid-guard now. Since a week ago, since Friday...
Yeah, haven't you,
I'm
finished?
mid-guard. Yeah. God,
I've got a year left.
Actually, I'm technically not UniSFA mid-guard since I I didn't really. I joined at the very end of 2020.
Oh, look, none of those numbers matter.
Yeah, no, absolutely, because by that logic, I was Midgard for like 6 years. The one slightly after where they stopped making units count because you've been at the university too long.
Midgard is just you've been here long enough that you could have finished a degree.
Yes.
Oh, okay, I've been Midgard forever.
And then
was
Old
born
Guard is
Midgard and I'll die
Old
Midgard.
Guard, you become Old Guard at some point.
Old Guard is you have there are no earthly tethers keeping you to this place.
Honestly, I think I sort of became Old Guard, if not like physically because I'm still here, but like I think in my soul I became Old Guard when I got my own computer and stopped having to live in UCC.
I feel like it's
Like,
I feel like at some point people just become Old Guard.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like if you were here when current Midgards were like joined, then you're Old Guard.
Yeah.
You know, no, that doesn't make. If you
I
were
think
Midgard
if you're
at that
someone
point,
that when you walk into the room, people go, "Hey, you're Old Guard."
no,
Nah, I feel like that's still mid.
There's a specific kind of A.
Yeah.
yeah, okay,
Like
Yeah.
there's a
I wouldn't
specific
understand.
like it's that like greeting of oh shit they're here all the time that like
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like you're a ghost
yeah
kind of vibe.
But you
Like
can
if
be
Steven
Old Guard
walks
but
in.
still around
Yeah.
a lot. You can be Old Guard but still around.
yeah
a
yeah
lot,
oh
right?
yeah for
absolutely,
sure but
yeah.
it's a different like thing.
But yeah. So yeah, I've been in this clubroom for a long time. I've seen the clubroom change. Before it had very nice painted walls.
Yeah, Winslade's actually been in this club room for years. Every episode has just been sleeping in the corner.
John, what's my first name?
Matthew.
Good guess, but I was going to say Doug.
Math me.
I was gonna make a joke that
You
you,
should
were
pronounce it
Doug,
Matthew.
but I couldn't compare you to him.
Doug
no,
doesn't
that's
get
fair.
to sleep in here.
No, he doesn't get to
We've got
sleep.
like a Clockwork Orange setup going on that guy.
That's why he's really trying to get out.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's on that Dark Crystal.
I was going to say, if you love something, you should set it free, which is why he stays here.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I've been here while I've seen the clubroom change from like having the TV there to having the TV there to having the TV there and a little bit forward because of the weird like aisle dungeon thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've seen pictures. I've
Yeah,
seen
I was
footage.
librarian when that happened.
I have seen footage of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I say noted.
All damage to the clubroom was absolutely here before I got here. No questions.
I believe you.
I think one day, right? My dream for the club room. I think the next step, right? After we spent all that time and effort and money getting the computer, one day we'll get another special projects grant for a VR setup.
We literally got the special projects grant for these headphones.
Yeah, I know.
Okay,
I think that was a good pick, but I mean, like in future, try it again for VR setup. I think that'd be sick.
I mean, you've got several advantages that other clubs with VR setups don't have.
Like?
Door that locks.
Door that locks is pretty good.
Roof is the big
yeah,
one.
ceiling's big.
Yeah.
I would say that the ability to like surround the area with only one direction you can't punch safely, which you could then put something in front of.
Yeah.
All good points. Winslade, do you have like some favorite camp home memory? Can you share like your favorite memories? Like, you know, I'm going to my grandparents' house and they're like, you know, telling me about
I mean,
how it was living in South Africa. I don't know.
so what people
I want to unpack that later.
yeah.
No, there's not much to unpack. My grandparents lived in South Africa for an amount of time.
You're yeah, all right, I suppose.
They do that.
All right, well, you got me thinking. All right, well, there was a time that I got yelled at by KFC.
Oh,
Like the Colonel himself.
the Colonel himself? Holy shit, man,
so-
you are old. He died like
I don't know
40
if I
years
know this
ago.
one.
This is, for a while, the, like, UCC was, like, very much more a social gaming space.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And being students, if there's one thing we crave, it's value. And then what is more valuable than 9 for $9.95? Hashtag not sponsored, but should be sponsored.
Oh boy. God, I work at KFC and I'm so glad I haven't worked there. I'm pretty sure that's only on Tuesdays right now,
Yes.
and we're not actually. You know what? I don't need a sponsorship. I'm loyal to the Colonel.
Yeah.
Hashtag.
You're doing it for the love.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm doing it for the love of the like mediocre fried chicken.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad I don't work on that day because it would suck.
So anyway, so the point is that like the Cameron Hall was this like pretty like, I don't say like busy, but it was definitely like a solid dozen people.
Oh no, UCC used to get like busy.
Yeah.
People didn't have as many laptops that could run video games.
Yeah. So I've definitely...
It's definitely been a big change.
Yeah, which is why we had in-person raid, which I know that you guys have talked about in the past. In-person raid is inspired by the fact that like people don't have PCs.
That used to be how we did it.
Yeah, people don't have PCs, so we have to raid in UCC. But anyway, so there'll be a bunch of people who need food at the end of a day before continuing their video game adventure. And the obvious answer is not to order pizza, it is to go to KFC and get 9 for $9.95.
Yeah.
Times like several.
So there's like dozens of people ordering 9 pieces of chicken. They're ordering over 100
I'm gonna do the math.
Over 100 pieces of chicken.
Also, Winslade, I need you to know that you have reminded me of. I know what the next story to tell is.
9
ODST
times 12.
pizza.
Yeah, 108. 108 pieces of chicken.
Yeah. So we just go and they're like, hey, can we get like 10 lots of 9 for $9.95? And at which point the manager pulls, like they do the thing. It takes them a while. They hand me a box, like a box containing several other boxes, like the cardboard box you use to move your stuff.
Jesus.
And the manager pulls me aside, like, can you do us a favor and just warn us next time you do this? Because you are just kind of half. It's a lot of chicken, and we'd like to have chicken for other people, please.
Yeah. Wait, I'm trying to. Okay, how much is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
10 times 9
10,
is 90, and then
I'm
you
trying to-
got 18 more, so it's 108. No, yeah, 108.
Yeah, 108.
I'm watching him
okay.
count.
Yeah, no, it's just the
And
level of
then
concentration is so impressive.
18, 6. Oh, yeah, that's gonna take them a while to cook.
Yeah.
As I was doing the math of like how much chicken can they cook at a time.
Right.
and,
So
like,
then they've got which results in
it's gonna take like half an hour, and then
so
No one's getting hot
Yeah.
fried chicken when
oh
you
no,
get back.
it keeps warm, but it is kind of like congealing to the same mush.
Yeah, no, it's not hot anymore.
But yeah, and then there's me just kind of waddling out with the
Waddle,
box full
waddle.
of chicken, and have everybody looking at me like, surely the 108 pieces of chicken that very large man is waddling out of the KFC with is all for him, right? No, sadly not. But yeah,
I did a similar thing in a quiz night for a different club. I was helping out of.
I'm pretty sure. Oh, you go first.
They ordered like 20 pizzas, and the Domino's was like, "Hey, next time can you warn us?"
Oh, you didn't warn them? Oh, that's
Oh,
not
that's-
good.
I
Yeah,
wasn't.
yeah,
I wasn't.
Domino's
I wasn't
is
part
you
of the
don't want 'em.
organization.
Yeah, no,
for
like,
it.
it does happen. Sometimes it slips through. I remember once calling up and just getting bad information about like if that would be possible, and then another manager getting angry at me. And then I was like, I called up earlier and was told it was fine.
yeah.
Anyway, but oh god, I'm pretty sure that Cameron Hall did have something to do with the rules change for swirls.
Oh, it did. Oh, can I talk
what?
about- yeah.
So swirls, Domino's, when you like do a custom pizza, one of the options is you get your sauce swirls.
Oh yeah, I love a sauce swirl. Give me some like
The
garlic sauce
Earl
and
of
smoky
Swirl was a pizza we created. You take the cheese-only Simply Cheese pizza, and you hit it up with every fucking swirl in the goddamn game.
I'm gonna order this.
Well, so no, the thing is, they made swirls cost money now, because
Oh.
they used to be free.
Yeah.
Because we got the Earl of Swirl too many times, they
So-
changed it.
Yeah, you had to deep pan it, otherwise the Earl of Swirl would not have the structural integrity.
Yeah, the deep pan acted like a sort of thick sponge.
Yeah. If
Can
you
we
order,
please get this?
Oh yeah,
after
we
this
get it every
podcast
now
is
and
over
then.
there?
Not every sauce that worked with it is still there, and they've added a few more sauce swirls that are bad.
Okay, I'm
Yes.
gonna open the Domino's app, and we're getting sponsored by a lot of things today.
oh, we're doing it live.
We're doing it
Yeah.
live.
You know,
Pick up
we've
late.
got some because there's a Domino's that
Pick
right.
up later. I can say we gotta get it by this time.
I'm still getting I still have not unsubscribed
Secret
from
fourth
the,
guest, the Domino's delivery man.
I still have not unsubscribed from like the cheap pizza deals from the
No,
Domino's
yes.
near here because you never
Yeah.
know when
They've-
you need to order like 10 pizzas
They've
for
got
a game.
the horrifying reliability of being a Domino's that's a block away from a university.
Oh
Yeah.
god, yeah.
So they've seen some shit there, I'm sure. We've got we know that place
Yeah, well, they've
in a
definitely
way.
seen some shit because they've seen us.
Yeah, well, so back when was it ODST?
It was... I think it was.
Yeah, it was a game I was running, a Halo ODST game. And, every week we'd have a session and we'd order pizzas, someone would go get it. And so, I'd put a dumb fucking name on the order. What was the early ones, like, Tall Dave? What was some of the good ones?
A bunch of nerds.
Yeah, a bunch of nerds. And so, going there and getting the pizza, and it's like, hi, yeah, I'm here to pick up pizza. I'm not sure what the name it's under. And they look at you and they go, so are you a bunch of nerds? And you have to say yes, because that's our pizza.
I did have to say yes.
So I got him with that. And after a couple months of that, the jokes died down a little bit. And Winslade goes in. He's used to having been got. And so he goes, hey, I'm here to pick up pizzas under some kind of stupid fucking name. And they go, are you Winslade?
Yeah, so... yeah,
I got on the way in and you got on the way out, man.
Yeah, no, I absolutely annihilated by Cam via the dominoes.
That's really fucking good. I do have the modern day Earl of Swirl here.
Oh, lay it on us.
It costs $13.
Yeah.
Simply cheese pizza. So the toppings are
Yeah, what are the swirls we got?
mozzarella cheese,
Yeah.
Frank's Red Hot Original Hot Sauce,
Okay, yeah.
garlic base sauce,
Yep.
hickory
Oh,
barbecue
you switched
sauce.
to creme fraiche base, by the way.
What, the creme fraiche brace? It costs another extra $1, by the way.
But, bud, we're in too deep
Yeah,
now.
we're at 14. Okay, mozzarella cheese, Frank's Red Hot Original Hot Sauce, garlic base sauce swirl, hickory barbecue sauce swirl, hollandaise sauce swirl, mayonnaise, peri peri sauce swirl, garlic parmesan sauce, tomato capsicum sauce.
No, that doesn't sound too bad. They've had some weird ones in there every now and then, but that one sounds like you could do it.
That sounds like it'd taste...
It's a saucy
Not,
boy.
Yeah, it's a
I feel
saucy
like it
boy.
It's
would
deep.
taste like...
It's got like
It's deep, it's a little spicy.
it's a puddle.
barbecued.
Yeah, it would be barbecue.
It'd be that hickory smoke with a peri peri finesse.
My concern is that the hollandaise is going to get weird.
Oh, it would too, wouldn't it? Yeah.
How so?
If I was going to tag one of those flavors out, it'd be probably the hollandaise.
What would you put in?
Maybe the regular mayo, just because it's
Is
not doing
pineapple
enough
kind of a
work.
sauce? What if you had prawns?
No. That's an entirely different named pizza. The white pizza.
Yeah, I was about to say, that's the white pizza.
The white pizza?
It's a pizza where all the ingredients are white.
Prawns are on it. It's got like
Mushrooms.
fucking
We need more-
mushrooms.
we need
It's
more
got-
themed
It's got
pizzas.
the fucking camembert on it.
I guess Meat Lovers is a themed pizza.
Yeah.
I guess a lot of pizzas are themed, like Hawaiian. That's like a theme, right?
Yeah.
Good job, pizza.
I mean,
makers.
the word
we're
themed
ordering
do a lot of
off
work.
the menu.
Yeah.
I guess all pizzas are themed, like vegetarian.
No, it's
Themed.
pizza themed.
Yeah. Themed about being a circle.
It's Italian.
Italian themes. Pizza's just Italian themed bread.
Yeah. Yeah. You're not completely incorrect.
I had a friend who works at McDonald's, and he posted an image the other day of at 3 a.m. of someone ordering 50 hash browns and 50 McMuffins.
The dream.
Oh, God, I wish.
Look,
I think
I've
we just
seen
really
people
need to
make
go
some
and get some
mistakes in
food
orders.
after this.
Oh, I've absolutely done that. You can tell that we've recording the podcast before lunch, right?
Yeah, definitely. I had a sandwich before this.
I'm always like this. I had a very large breakfast just before heading off.
You mentioned that's why you were a little late.
Yeah.
You say
Like, literally, the being late, if I had had a regular sized breakfast, I would not have been late.
You got any other memories for us? Any
I've
other
got
times?
Many memories. So.
This can be like a historical. This can be like a historical podcast today.
I believe I am the only person to unofficially hold the title of UCC's librarian.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to mention you were librarian for the 2 other clubs, or well, there's more than 3
Yeah.
clubs, but you're librarian for UniSFA and Unigames. So
Yeah.
were you UCC librarian?
Unofficially, yes. They have a bunch of books. It's mostly coding and.
I tried so hard to get rid of as many of those as we could.
Yeah, and then
What else
instead
am I
we ended up
Cam
putting
enemy of books.
we ended up putting them in a library thing similar to the way Unigames does it. And the negotiation phase for that was fun because I remember staring at I think it was either Goz or Jarkus, and staring them down. It's like, I want a 4-letter TLA.
What is that?
TLA is the UCC 3-letter acronym that you get.
Oh,
Yeah,
Um,
So I was staring him down. Like, yes, I would like a 4-letter 3-letter identificator.
That's never been done before.
Yeah. TLAs are great because most of them are just like first come, first serve.
Yeah.
So if for instance,
I couldn't get Cam, which is very disappointing. Cam's my UCC username.
yeah.
Cam's our Discord username as well,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Well, for instance, if you wanted to be a turbo Chad and grab something like, I don't know, MVP, and nobody had it, you could just call dibs.
Yeah.
Which is what I did. I called dibs.
You to MVP.
And I'd like
You're
to
the
believe
real
I proved
MVP.
it. I'd like
Yeah.
to believe I proved it being on UCC committee.
God,
because-
trying to cull some of those fucking books when I was on committee. A part of my soul broke and shattered into the floor into 1,000 pieces when I was like taking off the huge shelves of bullshit we had.
Yeah.
And a member of my committee, instead of helping me throw things out, grabbed a ring binder file full of loose leaf sheets of stuff that didn't matter and started vacuuming it
Sorry, what?
so that
I
it would
forgot
be
about
clean
that.
when he put it back.
Vacuuming
And I was like, no.
a binder?
Yeah, well, it was dusty. It was really fucking dusty.
Yeah.
And it was, and I just broke. I've never recovered from that.
A part of Cam was lost in the day and remains in
Yeah.
UCC.
Oh no, it's dust now.
Yeah.
It's been vacuumed up.
Yeah,
In UCC's defense, it is very hard to throw out
Yeah.
things in UCC
Oh, yeah.
because a lot of the stuff that they have is stuff they've built themselves, stuff that can't be
Yeah.
gotten anymore.
a lot of that I'm fine with having as well. Not all of it. Not all of it.
It is really hard to for them to throw things out
Yeah.
because you like pull out a box of stuff and you're like, no, that's actually somewhat important. This like the 5th box of Ethernet cables may actually be required.
Oh, the Ethernet goon boxes are truly
Is it
beautiful.
Ether or Ether?
Oh, whichever one, man.
It's Ether. Like
It-
the
it-
Minecraft
It's been
place.
both.
Like the Minecraft.
The
like,
important
dimension.
part is that you can get goon boxes full of the stuff, and that's very funny.
You're right, I did mispronounce. It's Aether.
Yeah, no.
No,
No.
are you sure you want?
It's pronounced-
I'm
The letters are silent.
of course, right. I was about to say, sure you want to argue me? I'm the one who's listed their credentials on the podcast.
That's true, John. What are your credentials?
Current UniSFA librarian.
Anyone could be doing that.
Yeah, that's not such a great credential. I mean, like I've done that.
Yeah, you've done that in the past.
Oh, I sure am.
It's like saying the past presidents have as much power and status as the current president. You know?
Well, to be fair, the current president could disagree with me, but I think that current past president of UniSFA is a way cooler guy and very, very cool. Yep.
Who is that, by the way?
Current immediate past president of UniSFA?
Yeah.
Who knows?
It is you, isn't it?
Do you
Yeah,
know
it's
it?
me.
I would like to.
I wouldn't be like fucking shit talking the current president if it was anyone else.
I mean, maybe if it was Merlin or Jack. Maybe if it was Merlin or Jack.
nah.
A little bit.
My mic's slipping.
Anyway, what I was going to say is that how dare you say that how dare you say that past presidents don't have value? You never stop being on committee.
It's
True.
That's
I'm
why
probably
here.
stuck here. I'm probably like stuck like in. You join committee and then you change. You don't go back.
Don't forget, you're here forever.
Yeah.
What was it? At some point in the minutes, the thing for incorporation, whether or not UniSFA incorporated, came up, and that fucking
God,
lit
nightmare.
up the chat I've got with like Jack and Merle, and it's just like, oh,
Why?
why is this a thing that we have to pay attention
Horror.
to? And then also like just going, all right, cool, is this a problem we can solve ourselves? And the answer is almost.
A lot of the time, the answer is just don't worry about it.
Hey, don't worry about it. Hey,
Kids have
forget about it.
Forget about it.
So I remember being told right at the beginning, don't talk over each other.
Oh, that's
And then-
Yeah, forget about it.
To be fair, if you're all going, forget about
Yeah, I know.
Forget about it.
forget about
I have considered
That's
forgotten
not-
about it.
Yeah, that's not talking over
Forget
each
about
other.
what?
That's just
Sorry.
doing a bit together.
Saying forget about it in that accent cleanses my head of thoughts. Makes me
You
forget.
forgot about him.
I forget about it to forget.
Yeah, I don't know. John, do you have any core Cameron Hall memories?
Core Cameron Hall memories. My favorite memory is Unigames, or one of my favorites is Unigames Fresher Welcome in 2021, in which I was playing Werewolf, and I was like, there's a bunch of like nervous like new people to Cam Hall and games, so I'm gonna join this game and spice it up and do that by like, you know, making Ultimate Werewolf like a role-playing game.
Yeah, no, that's way more fun that way.
Right, so I'm like, we gotta like to mayor or whatnot, you know. I saw you sneaking around at night, like adding all these random flavor bits that like aren't mechanically to do with the game at all, and in fact probably hinder actually finding a werewolf, but like make the game infinitely more fun. And my favorite bit was like, guys, we can't decide, let's just eeny, meeny, miny, mo who to kill. And I randomly choose someone to start, and I eeny, meeny, miny, mo, and perfectly come back round the circle to choose myself.
Unplanned.
Unplanned as well. I just suck.
You just got shot in the head.
No, I was like, okay guys, maybe we shouldn't do that. Maybe not. I actually managed to persuade them not to kill me.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I understand Werewolf and like other social deduction games in concept, but boy, I'm so bad at it.
Yeah. And there's one real core reason for that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I cannot lie.
Like you can.
Was that a lie?
It's not very good. No, he can't. If he lies, you'll know.
Yeah, no, it's okay, sorry, let me rephrase. I can only lie to myself.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're just not good at duplicitousness.
Yeah, it's a trait that I'd like to have for like a bunch of games, right? Like especially for like roleplay games. Like there is value to be had by adding a secondary objective like kaboom.
Yes.
But I can't like go about it in the same way as like Dave or Ed or Jack can do it.
I think you just need practice, you know. I'm probably alright at it because
it's
did.
Real bad. Hold on.
I spent most of my lunchtimes in high school playing social deduction games. The amount of times I've played Resistance, my friend Sean, I've got it. I can like read him now.
Oh yeah, no, there are people who I'm on that level with, right? Yeah. I can give Dave a look and understand that he understands me. But Winslade just you can tell there's a part of his brain that's going, hee hee, I'm doing a little fib. Right? It's not like you can't lie because you like fumble over it. It's that you're clearly like,
it's like I want to get
you're
caught.
Unable to, right? You're not hiding it. You don't like hiding it.
Yeah.
You're having fun.
Yeah, it's to the point that it got to the point for a while when we were doing games where it's just like, all right, we're going to ask Winslade a yes or no question, and we're going to use this as our litmus test for verified truth.
Yes. No, yeah, like...
I mean, like...
You gotta lean into things like that.
Yeah, how does it feel to be the spell zone of truth?
Well, sometimes you would try it.
Yeah, I mean, like, sometimes you gotta go for it, right? Sometimes you gotta lie. Sometimes you gotta call Cam out as the imposter, despite the fact you murdered directly in front of him.
Yeah. To be fair, with me, it's easier than most, because I do insist on just being a shithead.
Yeah.
I think that's a fun archetype in like social deduction games, like the shithead, like the person who just like...
I'm playing the secondary game of, if I look enough like the imposter on a normal game, no one will believe that I'm the imposter when I am.
Yeah. That was my friend Sean's strategies in like every social deduction game.
Or
like,
it's too easy.
Someone has to be like... No one can confidently say that you are the bad guy because you're so obvious and like strange about it.
Yeah, well, because a lot of my friends are big brain fucking detective types, right? Like when our group did start playing a bit of Mogus, get the cheeky couple games of Mungus in.
Bit of Mungy.
There was like a pseudo meta where a couple of players would be like, well, that person's too good at this, so I'm killing them early on.
No, that happens in all social.
Yeah, but
I played that in like Trouble in Terrorist Town. I think,
but like
as well.
we were like, a couple players that were just very good at like the deduction, which is fun for people. It's like it got too like, oh god, we're just fucking. It's too high stakes, and I'm like, no, let's make that a little bit stupider.
I'm gonna lower the stakes of this by lowering the intelligence level.
Yeah. Well, and so it's very clear, if you vent in front of me, I'm like, oh, you're my friend now.
The other thing as well is that when I'm not trying to be duplicitous in a game like Among Us, I've been given a set of tasks.
Oh, fucking tasks.
Alright, and I've been given a list, things that I can check off, and I'm like, excellent.
Yeah.
gentlemen, I was not expecting Among Us to be where we ended up in this episode. I cannot lie.
Is we had ended it?
No.
No, is it just that we got
No.
here and begin with?
Just that we got here. You know, like, there's a lot... It just hit me. There's a lot of things, like... You know, I didn't have too many expectations going to, like, any kind of UniSFA episode, you know? There was things I'm thinking about, but, like, Among Us, for some reason, it's just hit me now. I'm like, how did we end up here? Like,
Would you like me to take a hard left?
I think let me finish my monologue of... we can go hard left, or maybe a hard right. Or, like, just keep going forward.
We could go backwards.
We can go backwards. God, we've gone backwards. I think there was a subtle belief in the back of my brain that Among Us would never be discussed on this podcast.
Why would you believe that?
I don't know why.
It was just
it was
matter
not a
of time,
conscious
dude.
belief. But it feels so strange. Maybe it's because of the daylight. Maybe it's because it's daytime. This is like a weird podcast.
You should have set that up in the ground rules, man.
I should have set it up in the ground rules.
Fuck, ground rules.
Oh shit! The ground rules.
The ground rules.
The ground does kind of rule.
No. We need to explain
Yes, you're
this.
right. But okay, so I ran a Rogue Trader game a while back. So you're a bunch of rich space dickheads going around to become richer spacer dickheads.
Is that not like EVE Online?
No, EVE Online is about like scrounging and then like building a company and an empire. Rogue Trader is like, no, you've inherited billions and billions and billions of dollars and lives and like a spaceship.
You've started, and Rogue Trader is you've started Endgame EVE Online, and then have decided, you know what, I'd like to restart Endgame EVE Online, but on my own terms.
Yeah.
Fair
So
enough.
like, you know, it's the difference between like you start with a stat for the whole party, which is your profit factor, which is, you know, a number between 1 and 100. That starts off usually like minimum is like 20s.
Yeah.
1 point of profit factor is like you can purchase planets.
Yeah.
Jesus.
The level of decadence involved in Rogue Trader is truly remarkable. Like the notion of like this first class like meal is pedestrian, beneath you. You need to go to negative 9th class,
Yeah.
right? You have to have your chicken glazed with honey that's been like melted in a forge by a star, imported across systems,
Yeah. Like,
right?
The level of cash you've got is such. People always ask the question, like, why is the Rogue Trader like going down in person onto the planet and doing dumb shit? And why is he taking like the chief navigator, who is like an irreplaceable, fucking like spooky dude? And if he dies, you can't fly the ship properly. And also, he's like the second richest person in the party. Like, why is that guy going down to the planet? And the answer is that's his like best. Like, that guy's the only guy who can like match him drink for drink.
Mm-hmm.
Like. You've got you're like it's a
this is my
little bit
buddy.
silly, right? You can play Rogue Trader in a serious manner, but like I think it works best when it's a little bit fucking dumb because like
Yeah.
your core party members, you know, you've got your Rogue Trader, you've got your navigator, you've got your like chief psycho who sends messages, you've got your tech priest who is the kind of tech priest who's out there exploring to find new or old shit, and you've got your head of fucking like you've got your arc militant is the class for it, which can be done in a few ways. I've seen. You know, you can get your, like, head of security, you can get your, like, horrible enforcer, you can get your... See that sequin-covered gladiator fight, man?
Yeah, I do see
I
him.
watched him fight a couple times, and I was like, yes, Seneschal, purchase him. I want him to stay within 20 feet of me at all times for entertainment reasons. The dude's armed with, like, a gun that kills tanks. The Seneschal is
Wearing
one of the
very
greatest
shiny
fucking
pants.
classes in anything. The Seneschal is... Ostensibly, you are like the you run a lot of the day-to-day business. You're like you can build it into a spy master. You can build it into a bit of a butler. You can build it into a did I say spy master first?
Yeah, you did say Spy Master.
You said another spy master.
Yeah, second spy master. You can build it into like Jack built in his specialty was embezzling.
Yeah.
Fucking double O'Malley.
Yeah.
But you know the Seneschal, the image for them like. Their like example image is for some reason fucking like abseiling, like he's on some kind of cable.
Yeah,
So
no,
he's the
he's-
abseiling accountant.
He's swashbuckling in with like a quill within his teeth.
He's got like a little iPad,
And
he's like writing shit down, but he is abseiling whilst doing it.
yeah.
The Seneschal can start with the anti-tank pistol, the strongest pistol in the game.
Jesus.
No one else can get that. It's
the
like
Inferno pistol.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're right. Cause
right. So you're like I'm
Yeah.
playing as the butler accountant, and I have the nightmare gun. But yeah, so some of the splat books added a couple of like, aliens.
He
you
is
could have.
Wait, okay. He is abseiling with a giant robot eye, a giant quill between his teeth, and like the world's bulkiest iPad, and all the buttons on his coat are skulls.
Yeah, that's the long-suffering dude whose job it is when the rogue trader like asks for like business to make it happen.
Yeah.
He looks like that guy from the Metal Gear game.
Yeah. Rogue Trader is pretty Metal Gear in a few ways.
Yeah, I'll pay it. Yeah. I mean,
Rogue Trader, I think, is one of my favorite systems of all time in terms of
Metal Gear.
its capacity to always deliver.
Deliver what?
Agree. Good games.
You play Rogue Trader like this has worked.
I will say that like if it is a lot of the time if Rogue Trader is predicated on having a really good group, but like if you've got a good group, right, and you've got a bunch of players that you trust.
Okay, but like, what RPG can't be good if there's a good group?
Yeah, but Rogue Trader delivers.
Yeah, Rogue Trader takes that group and goes, okay, here's everything you need to have an it works with you on having a good time.
Okay.
I'll use an example, right? The group of people that we played Mutants and Masterminds with, if you recall from a previous podcast, yes, I have been listening.
Oh, no.
Mutants and Masterminds I played with a group of people that were in a Rogue Trader game.
Yeah.
And Mutants and Masterminds was fun, but it wasn't like stellar.
Yeah.
Whereas we played that group with the Rogue Trader players, and Rogue Trader just fucking every session was good bits. Yeah. Like what was the weakest session in that Rogue Trader game?
To be fair, we wouldn't remember it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, yeah. So I was saying a couple of the Splatbook books let you play as aliens, which is a big deal in Warhammer 40,000, right? You don't trust those guys.
Yeah.
There's a whole wing of the secret Inquisition police dedicated to like stopping aliens from fucking around with society, and Rogue Traders are like, I'm rich enough that I have a letter from God saying I do what I want. Like literally, that's how it works.
Half of the like personality of humanity in Warhammer 40k seems to just be xenophobia.
Yes, it's more than half. It's
more
no
than
good.
half.
No, like the Imperium of Man is bad. That's the whole point. Not the whole point, but
it's ugly.
It's not good, right?
Yeah.
Shit sucks.
But Rogue Traders, what a Rogue Trader is someone whose their lineage has a letter from the God Emperor himself saying, like, you're allowed to be doing whatever you want, right? You're there on the fringes of humanity exploring. You're allowed to, like, talk to an alien and then buy things from him, right? It's expected that you're benefiting humanity by doing this, right? You're expected to try and give the aliens a worse deal.
God says I can do whatever I want.
Yes, literally. God.
Oh, I've used that argument so many times in so many Rogue Trader games.
God says
there is an upgrade you can get as the Rogue Trader, which is my letter from God is like signed in blood.
God says I get to use the Xbox now. Move over.
And so you can play as a couple of aliens, and Winslade in that game was the party's orc freebooter.
Yeah.
That says a lot about an orc if they're willing to hang out with a Rogue Trader in their party.
It says a lot about a Rogue Trader.
It says a lot about... Okay, to be fair, that was a Dave build, so no perception was unaware.
So, mostly just there for the free boots?
We made some free boot jokes.
Yeah.
They call me a freebooter on account of having 3 boots, one on each of my legs, and a third on a rope to check for traps.
The party fucking, like, has stolen an industrial, like, drilling, like, mining drill thing, and they're, like, sneaking into a fucking relic basement. The drill, like, busts through this floor, like, there's laser wires around, whatever. The door opens, and you hear, like, a whoop, 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 and a boot on a rope just flies out. Goes, like, good distance. There's a strong arm on that lad. Hits the ground. Just gets slowly pulled back in.
Well, I mean, how do you check for traps?
Yeah, no, it worked.
How do you check for traps? You step on them.
Yes. Fucking
yeah. Noswapper the Orc was truly one of my favorite.
An argument between who was gonna go forward to step on the trap first.
Well, especially because it's like
the invention of a.
If you're playing as the orc of the party, chances are if someone's gonna walk down that corridor first, they're gonna point at you, and you're gonna be like, yeah, all right. But Noswapper's not stupid. He's got some fucking meat in there.
He's got some meat in there.
He's cunning ears. So he knows how to survive being
some boot on the end of his rope.
Yeah. But yeah, so because the Rogue Trader was completely oblivious to everything, right? Noswapper, like, he was not completely aware that Noswapper was an alien. He was like, oh, that's just a weird green ogren.
Yeah.
And it didn't really matter. Double O'Malley was embezzling hard enough that it was like, yeah, this may as well happen. Yeah, so Noswapper was not the head of security. I
No,
don't think anyone would have argued with you on it. You had enough authority on the ship that people were just like, yeah, I mean, he could take my arms off if I disagree, but honestly, he does seem to have our best interest at heart for some reason.
Yeah.
Did you say the Rogue Trader was, like, was it ignorant, oblivious? Does one player just play a character who doesn't know what the other characters are up to?
So Dave, something Dave did, like one of Dave's big, like whenever someone's played a lot of RPGs, there'll be a few patterns they fall into, right?
Yeah, definitely.
I like my mob bosses and my knights. But yeah, Dave likes to have fucking shithouse perception, right? Dave loves having no idea what's going on, specifically when he has a position of authority. So this was something he built over a few years of Adeptus Evangelion, which is the game where most of the players are the pilots of the giant robots and they're 14-year-olds or whatever. The operations director is their like handler, so you're an adult with like responsibilities. You don't have a giant robot though. Dave,
probably one of the in the Evangelion universe, probably an upside.
Oh yeah, no, it's great. They usually start the least stable but end the most stable.
Interesting.
Well, because they're an adult that lived through some shit.
Yeah.
But then
their trauma from home.
they live through a bunch of things that to them is just like stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Dave, the operation director, inevitably, you are like, sure, you're like a highly paid, you're an important member of the like military operations of a paramilitary organization. You have a lot of responsibilities. You inevitably become a glorified babysitter, right? So Dave's running some of the school classes. He goes on the field trip. Dave run field trips averaged, I think on average there was at least one child had their ribs broken per field trip. Like a running bit. Like he took him fucking like kayaking, and it wasn't that like the kayaking got anyone injured, it was that like the kids had little rafts they'd built and they were beating each other up with the oars, and he just could not pass a perception check to save his life to be like, wait, stop that.
The umpire doesn't see it.
So when he was the rogue trader, he also did that, and that worked out quite well because he was missing for a lot of sessions, and so he just wasn't paying attention. His character wasn't like, if Dave's not there, his character was assumed to just be like staring up into space.
I wonder what's out there. We can find out, sir. I wonder.
Yeah. But yeah, so Noswapper, because of that, was able to just have positions of responsibility. So the first, like the intro session, we didn't randomly generate an alien race. Everyone gave a thing about these aliens.
Yeah. Is Rogue Trader the like RPG system where like the character creator is like you like create like a career life story of your character with like random dice rolls and stuff, or am I thinking of a different?
I'm thinking of Traveler.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of Traveler.
It's a little bit like that. Traveler, again, you're not expected to have all that much cash. See, Rogue Trader is a little silly. So the first session was I had the party generate up some aliens. By everyone, everyone gave a descriptor for them. So they had like a big head and a bunch of spindly legs beneath them. They were bureaucratic duelists.
Yeah, bureaucratic duelists.
And so the party was there a couple of decades ago.
Isn't that just lawyers?
Lawyers don't have that many spindly legs. They've got a few. So, a couple of 100 years ago,
they do have the big heads.
Dave's predecessor, like Dave's father, had set up a thing with these aliens because they didn't quite have space travel yet. So they were going to pile up a bunch of rare minerals and ready to pick up. And so he's there to collect. And because of the party being there, everything goes to shit pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So Ed gets into a scuffle and duels one of these pricks. Ed's a fucking psyker.
Mm-hmm.
And so he uses psychic powers in the duel and gets caught doing that.
Aww.
And psychic powers, for any species to get long-term survival in 40k, if you see a goddamn wizard, you burn him at the stake, right? It's the right thing to do. And for even for a rogue trader, you don't work with aliens if they haven't figured that one out.
Yeah.
And so Ed was declared like public enemy number 1. This planet had the IBIS system, which could send a fax to anything that could receive a fax. So like there's Jack, the seneschal, gets like a runner who's like carrying like a big stack of paper, and he's like, "Sir, one of the ratings in cabin 15B, like one of his walls started printing, and it's a series of formal complaints about Ed."
Yeah.
God damn. But yeah, so that's not important because everyone, had to be kept occupied. So Winslade, the orc, was given the role of Minister of Public Transport.
I believe I had to duel for it.
You did, yes. You found the previous minister for not public transport, Minister for Transport in general.
Yeah.
And so you found the guy that was the Minister for Transport, and you fucking killed him, right?
I dueled him and took his job.
Yeah, took his hat.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
That's how it works.
And this, I believe, Seawat let everyone set up a law.
No.
Sorry, Dave let everyone set up a law.
No, it was me.
Oh no, that's right. Yeah, let it. Yeah.
So we came into, as part of being Minister for Transport, I of course have to set up some rules.
You gotta have your ground rules.
Yeah, these are the ground rules.
Oh, we got there.
We did eventually.
We got
get
there.
there.
It doesn't apply to airplanes.
No, straight up. If you are in a submarine, the ground rules do not apply. Yeah. Is a thing that we stumbled upon organically.
Yeah.
At one point, they were fucking like long traveling to a place in a tank. In a tank, the ground rules always apply because if you're in a vehicle, the transport minister's rules apply.
Yeah.
So they were going a long distance to somewhere, and they get flagged down by some dudes, and those dudes had like some future sight abilities around. So they'd actually set up a man-made lake so they could park the tank in it.
Yeah.
Because otherwise they weren't allowed to stop.
Yeah. Okay, I don't remember all the ground rules, but I believe it was red is best.
Red is best. I think I remember a few of them. Dave's. You interpreted Dave's.
Oh yeah.
On Sundays we venerate the Emperor. As
I'll go through the party ones specifically.
Okay, rule number 1.
All right, so rule number 1 was all transport vehicles be red, so they go faster.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, makes sense.
Rule
Rule number 2.
I believe you're only allowed to go into first, third, or fifth. No reverse, no second or fourth.
Yeah. You're either going maximum torque or maximum speed.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to reverse.
Yeah.
They did work around that one by adding a negative first gear.
What's the punishment for breaking these, by the way? Is it death?
Well, I mean, like it's that's nitty gritty shit, right? You're the transport minister. They handle their own laws through dueling or whatever.
We're about setting the rules.
But the thing is that Winslade followed these rules throughout the whole campaign.
We're about setting
and Winslade was by far the best driver in the party.
Yeah.
We're about setting the rules, not setting what happens if you break them.
Yeah, we know what happens when you break them, and everyone goes, yes, we do, and they never tell you that the answer is that you get a small fine.
You got to say where you're going when you leave.
You do! You've got to yell where you're going when you leave. This one was huge. This saved many lives. If you're gonna drive somewhere, you got to tell everyone else where that is.
Yeah.
What are you, my parents?
I'm going to the sports game.
I'm going to the store. You want anything?
But like this meant that if Winslade's orc wanted to fucking go somewhere, he'd tell people where that was.
Yeah. So yeah, and then at some point I can't remember all.
I remember
of them.
Seawatts.
I remember a bunch, but eventually I got to the point where I was like, all right, well, I don't want to just create as a player. I don't want to just create arbitrary rules that I have to force everyone else to follow. So I'm going to give everyone else an opportunity to create a rule.
Magnanimous.
But I knew immediately what was going to happen with Seawat's character. Seawat's character was a tech priest. It was a tech priest who was stronger than me, and thus I hated him for it.
Built into like absolutely like so one of the tech priests. Like,
Did you say his name was Chad Bane?
His name was Chad Bane.
Having met Seawat now, this makes a lot of sense.
Because it was like sort of like, what if Cad Bane was a Chad?
I mean, is Cad Bane not already a Chad? But
like ripped. Because so one of the things you can do as a tech priest is you can spec into like the perfection of the human machine, and so he had like muscle implants and like hypersteroids going, and was like able to just throw Winslade if he wanted.
Yeah,
which it made him furious. Orcs can't like handle being around that. It's bad for their psychology.
Yeah. So
not their psyche. Their psycho.
No, it fucks up their whole thing. Their brain doesn't
science. Orc science suffers.
Yeah.
So yeah, I basically gave everybody the opportunity to make a rule. I remember Seawat's. I remember Dave. Dave's one was you have to
on Sundays we venerate the Emperor.
On Sundays we venerate the Emperor, which was on Sundays,
When the sun's out.
when the sun's out, you got to say nice things about the shiny man. I remember, I believe Jack's was Fun Shirts Fridays.
Yeah, Fun Shirt Fridays.
Yeah.
Fun what?
Fun Shirt Fridays is so...
Fun shirt Friday.
Yeah, you got to wear a fun shirt on Fridays.
Yeah.
I think that should be a rule in like.
Everywhere, all right.
Yeah.
Oh, as I said, these rules were, with an exception, pretty good.
Yeah, no.
Chad Bain did immediately just say, like, no minimum working age, no retirement.
Yeah, no minimum working age, no retirement. All right, but here's the thing: before I'd given up these rules, I had explicitly told myself. I think I explicitly told Cam that I was just my final rule was to veto whatever Chad Bain's rule was.
Yeah.
And it turns out to be the most benevolent thing.
Yeah,
Nob has ever
everyone
done.
loved Noswiper because he vetoed that rule. And it was like, wow, real hero of the people, and he's just like, God, I hate the guy that made that rule. Blessed day, worst person you know just made an idiotic, terrible point that nobody liked.
Oh man, that Road Trader game does like live rent free.
There are so many things in that will always live in my heart. Like, fucking Noswiper hitting his giant red button he's had in his pocket, and Jack's character receiving like a little like pager notification.
I would like to tell the full story.
Yeah,
This
no,
one
you
if I
go.
can. So, we'd come across a planet that has been in the middle of a civil war, and that means lots of fighting, and therefore it's a good place to be.
Yeah.
Now, I was afraid at the time the Road Trader would look at this and go, "This is too much trouble. I don't want to be here." So I did the only logical thing.
Remember that orcs are like built. Okay,
Different.
I think I should give orcs a
Yeah.
bit of some time on our podcast here.
Yeah.
Give orc time.
Space orc time.
Overheard
So,
in UniSFA.
Space
orc
orcs. Warhammer 40,000 has had the tagline for a while of "In the grim darkness of the 41st millennium, there is only war." Right? Orcs are in their victory state. Right? They love that. So orcs were originally a bioweapon created by the Great Old Ones to fight Necron. They were just a weapon that was created,
Yeah, I
right? They're a
think it was-
fungus. As a whole species, they're a fungus. Into their DNA, in that fungus is built every kind of orc you can get. The orc clans are built in. Their technology is built. They scale that technology to fight whatever they're fighting. Because it's a waste of resources if you're on a planet with mud and sticks to use a laser. But if you're fighting dudes that can, like, turn a sun into a laser beam themselves, you can be like, you can pull out the teleporters. The teleporters at that point.
I would like to
And the thing
point
is-
out to people that they don't look like fungus. They just
They
just
look
like
like
look
big
like
green,
orcs.
big green dudes.
Big green.
Yeah, they look a lot
Dudes,
like
they all have a
look a
Cockney
lot
accent.
like Warcraft orcs as a good
Yes.
example
Yeah.
that people would know of if they don't know 40k. If you don't know what either of them look like, you can find them. They're big green
Google.
guys.
Being it.
They
Not to be confused with aliens.
So as a weapon, they were too successful. Not in the way that they like rose up against their masters or anything, but in that like a bit of fungus got caught on the crevices of one of their ships and spread. And they just love to fight. They're having a great time. If enough orcs get in one place, they're all latently a little bit psychic, and they start to like warp reality about it. So a big enough group of orcs will one develop a war boss eventually. A war boss is something of a warrior poet, if you will. They're a real thinker. They'll say things like, "Oi, what if we stop beating up each other and all work together to beat up someone else?"
oh my
And everyone
God.
loses their fucking minds. And as long as he's big enough that if somebody goes, "Fuck you," he can crump him,
Yeah.
then people will listen.
Yeah.
And yeah, so enough orcs
people
like...
being orcs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, anyone. But yeah, enough orcs.
Anyone?
Things like their guns will run out of ammo. Like, they'll keep firing a little bit after that.
Yeah.
Because they don't realize they've run out of ammo.
Bullets go in the bullet hole. Death comes out the death hole. It doesn't matter what bullets you put in the bullet hole, though, because you put bullets in the bullet hole.
Yeah, the orcs can build a gun, and they understand like how to make a gun that works. But if you get enough orcs, it doesn't matter as much if the gun works. And like an orc that cares about his truck enough to paint it red is also going to drill speed holes, and they're going to think about the engine in a way that like a human scientist cannot have the instinctive understanding of an engine an orc has. But with enough orcs, just painting it red does also make it a little bit faster.
Oh yeah, it's that like orcs, if they like believe in something enough, it kind of comes true
A little bit. Like that one gets a little bit overblown sometimes, but like at the end of the day, yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. If you get enough orcs showing, here we go, here we go, here we go.
That is how they go. Like,
That
so
is how they go.
warp travel is you basically shunt your ship into hell as a nether style speeds trick. And yeah, orcs get in there by
Sorry, that was such a perfect analogy for
Yeah,
It is.
for how travel works in Warhammer.
yeah.
It really
Except
is,
you need a
though.
lighthouse or you'll die. But yeah, so the orcs
That's what
the
Glowstone's
orc
for.
psychers will get all the other orcs to chant as like a psychic focus because they're all working together or they're all thinking together, and the chant is "Here we go, here we go, here we go," because the original fantasy orcs, which these ones are based off, all the fantasy species and races and such, they were all based off historical factions of some sort, or they were Tolkienian, but even then it's somewhat mechanically all based off something. Orcs were football hooligans.
Yeah.
Like
No,
that's-
that makes so much
that's what they're
sense.
based
Yeah.
off. Yeah, so they're
100%. Yeah.
so they're just space football hooligans that are big and green. So they want to fight.
And
That's
that's
what
why
they
there's
live
Blood
for. And a bunch of orcs land in a demon world where every day they get killed by they fight an unwinnable battle against blood god demons, and that is orc heaven. The demons are like, why aren't they? It's like when Homer gets fed infinity donuts and he's having a great time. That for orcs.
An orc pilgrimage is
Endless
to go to
battle.
the planet of Armageddon, a place that is nearly constantly fighting.
Yeah.
It sounds like they're having a great time.
Yeah.
An orc accidentally time traveled and immediately sought himself out so he could kill himself and have 2 copies of his favorite gun. This did not cause a paradox either. He just had 2 of his gun from then on.
Yeah. So with that important background, we've established.
So Noswapple wants to stay here.
Yeah,
where
I
there's
want
a
to
big fight
stay
happening.
here. There's a fight going on, and it'll be good. I think we had already interacted with the primary problem at this point.
Yeah, you'd found a way to bypass it, or I think Dave just didn't care.
Yeah. Dave was sort of like he didn't care. So there was clearly only one thing to do, which was make sure we stay. And my answer to this one was to go to the ship's gunnings.
Yes, Bunnings for guns.
Gunnings for guns.
A set of escalating security protocols I'd written up in advance.
Blasters never really took off.
Yeah.
Grab some explosives, and then threaten to blow up the bridge of the ship if we left.
I believe after you'd done that, Dave decided to stay anyway,
Yeah.
and your bombs sat dormant for some time.
Yeah.
So
So
you didn't get rid of them.
I don't think we did. No. But so we're sitting there going like, I want to stay, and I'll prove it.
This was a different place you wanted to stay.
Yeah.
And
What? Where's the boom?
so and like in the same room, Double O'Malley, the seneschal, the accountant, pulls out his pager, and it's beep, and then there's a boom.
So yeah, in the intervening time between setting up bombs and then going to go confront Dave,
Double
the
O'Malley.
seneschal had gone through and had been told that hey, the orc has been going into the gunnings with some going.
Yeah,
and,
the orc's been doing some shit.
and
He investigated.
Yeah, he investigated and found that there had been bombs placed on the bridge. He's like, you know what? At some point in time, I would like to have bombs on the bridge in case I need them. But I can't have these going off whenever the orc wants. So I'm just going to sidle in a 2-factor authentication on the
He didn't disarm the bombs. He didn't say you can't have this. He said, no, this is okay. I just want to make sure I okay the bombs. So he put 2-factor authentication on the bombs without asking.
Make sure to always sign up for 2-factor authentication for your bombs.
You were fucking furious. Because you
honest,
didn't know until you hit the button.
Yeah, to be honest, I still am a little bit.
Yeah.
Never forgiven the man. But, oh, yeah. And this is what I mean. Like, Rogue Trader, like, to circle back to our core point, Rogue Trader always delivers.
It always delivers.
It always delivers.
The scale can go wherever you need it to.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get into a pissy shit fight over, like, an ingredient
Yeah.
for, like, a dinner.
Oh, yeah.
And sometimes you save a world from a demonic occurrence.
This is making me really want to play Rogue Trader.
I would love to run it.
I'd love to play a game with you.
Again, always
I'm so busy though,
Yeah,
and I
that's
just
the-
started.
No,
we just
no,
started the Lancer campaign.
Don't worry, Rogue Trader is one of those games I'm like, I'll run it again.
Yeah.
Nice.
When you're never safe.
Yeah, because there are a bunch of Rogue Trader games that I want to run. A bunch of Rogue Trader. I messaged Cam a Rogue Trader build yesterday.
Yeah, you did.
Right? Like Rogue Trader is always on like part of my like, oh man, I could do that game psyche because it's
Yeah, you need players that are able to run it who have like enough understanding of the setting and the system that they can just build something of the scale that you need.
yeah, and also I will say that like the tone of it can vary wildly from okay, there is a problem
Yeah.
to all right, guys.
We need to manufacture a problem.
No, the Rogue Trader has gone down to the planet. Which is
So yeah, sometimes your party doesn't have a rogue trader in it.
yeah.
We've solved this a couple times. Like, there's always the issue of like one person's in theory the captain of the ship, which has its issues.
Yeah.
I last time I've done this, I solved that with there is a rogue trader in the party, but they are only in charge because their dad is on holiday. But
That's
he's
a good-
there judging you.
Yeah. Oh, he was so mad at us when we came to with work.
Yeah. But yeah, sorry, you go.
But yeah, so honestly, we could probably make our own entire podcast talking about Rogue Trader.
Well, another day maybe.
Yeah. But yeah, like I've always got a little bit floating in the back of my mind for Rogue Trader.
There's always the Rogue Trader section of the Cortex. It's been extensively mapped out.
Yeah.
Oh no, there's
and
untold depths to that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to play, but I'm busy.
Oh, no,
I've got
worry.
Lancer now. I've just been
Lancer now,
my
yeah.
character has just been given his call sign of nap time.
Yeah.
Because my character's
Keeps
one a
getting
kid, but
fucking
two
stunned.
constantly stunned. I
through only like things that you really could not have done.
session
much
one,
about.
I got stunned at the start of my turn, and because the rules said
You get stunned
you're-
until the end of your next turn.
Oh yeah.
Normally, you don't get stunned during your own.
So I got
turn.
stunned for 2 turns, which we've changed since, and then I got stunned like turn 2 in like the most recent game,
that
and I've been
happens.
termed nap time, to which I
We've went into it, but yeah, you don't get to
which I
choose your own call
collapsed
sign. Is the
into
thing
a
about call
crying,
signs.
laughing mess.
Do you remember for Nerve Vegas?
Yeah.
Um,
Oh yeah, no, I've brought up that
Sorry, what?
Nerve Vegas. It was an Evangelion game set in Nerve Vegas.
Yeah.
That's really
Las
funny.
Vegas, Nevada.
Fucking
No,
getting-
that's actually
getting-
the best
When
possible.
I said I've been chain stunned in Ava and it drove me insane, that was the game I was talking about. Getting chain stunned feels fucking dog
It
shit.
happened to me in that one as well.
Yeah.
Well, I got taken out immediately
You
on
got
the
you,
first
got
turn.
one tapped and I got chain stunned.
Yeah, I got one tapped by a rock to the head. Luckiest shot ever.
Talking about lucky shots, the reason why we're recording in the morning today is that I was playing mini golf last night when we usually record, and one of my friends, he hit the ball. It went up the hill. It hit a rock. It went 2 meters into the air and directly into the hole.
Oh, that was planned.
That's some macro golf
For
right there.
the greatest mini golf shot I've ever seen in my life.
That's the thing.
That
with
was a
mini
hole.
golf,
It was
is
a hole in one as well.
You do get to see the greatest things of your entire life in mini golf sometimes.
Yeah.
Also, the flag was still in the thing.
Oh,
So like,
beautiful.
it didn't just like get
it was
into a big hole.
perfect,
It went
perfect.
into like the tiny bit between the flag and the hole.
Marvelous.
Jesus
Never
Christ!
replicated.
Never replicate. I will never see something like that. No one has ever done that in the history of mini golf.
What was your call sign in ODST?
It was a pitcher because I was throwing.
Pitcher, yeah, 'cause you got-
because I lucked out on grenade tosses.
You managed to crit throw several grenades in the first session.
Yeah. And then I kind of lent into it by always having grenades on my person.
Yeah.
I'm going to lean into it by
Being the controller.
by being the person who by playing
can-
a mech who can just be on another person and not
But
move
also
around.
you can be like, you take a nap.
True.
If you're like playing control, you do get a lot of the ability to shut people down.
Though I guess no, I'm saying
Yeah.
I was gonna play the mech, which is like immobilize people, but now I'm changing it, so I'm gonna be the one that does the opposite of I move people around.
You do still get like certain things that will slow people down though. Like you can make them stabilize,
True.
which is take a nap.
You're the nap
You
time
can
now.
make the nap time call sign like work for you here.
Yes,
I think
I can. It was very funny.
And like you've got the first organic call sign of this party.
yeah,
Congrats.
Shout out to Ed for naming my character and me collapsing.
Organic call signs, I think,
Afterwards.
are the best part of.
Oh,
that
yeah,
one.
I know, they're spectacular.
That and deciding who's in charge, air quotes.
Who's in charge is always a fun question to ask.
Yeah, who's in charge by who technically is the best at
Because
this.
ODST was running with Only War, another 40k system. There is a class you can start as, which is the sergeant. So you're the leader. You're here to organize and like.
You have an actual title.
But you have a rank, right?
Yeah.
If no one picks the sergeant, who's in charge? And the answer was whoever had the highest fellowship, and nobody in that party had an above human average
I
fellowship.
think we topped out at like 20 something.
Yeah, I think you
Low
had like
20.
a 26, 28.
Yeah.
And you
Out
were,
of like 100.
the human average is 30.
Yeah.
but no one had 30.
Yeah.
And that really warped how that game went. So it went from like, all right, you're like, you're playing as ODSTs, you're orbital drop shock troops, you're the most badass motherfuckers who are just regular human beings you can get, right?
Yeah.
Sure, there's Spartans in Halo, and they're genetically engineered super soldiers of a scale that's, they're fine. I'm spoiled for super soldiers.
They're all
Yeah,
right,
we are.
I
I think we as a
guess.
society in general are.
Oh, but I mean, like,
Another
40,
super
40k
soldier.
people are like,
Yeah.
oh, I've seen some shit, right? Spartans can just...
40k, I feel like,
Space
has,
Marine-
like, super soldiers, and they're like, yeah, I guess they're alright. Like, they're
like,
the most
Space
basic
Marines,
guys.
That's the thing. Space Marines make other setting super soldiers look like fucking
Yeah.
chumps.
I mean, and then they have, like, super space marines and, like, super space
Yeah.
marines.
Yeah, they do.
And then super space marines and giant robots.
We could talk about Primarchs at some point.
Oh, we should talk about Primarchs at some point. Fuck. But yeah, we got a lot of shit.
You can pinpoint there the exact moment where Cam realizes there is not enough time from this podcast to talk
Yeah.
about as many RPGs as he and Winslade wants.
Oh my god. But yeah, so the party went from being like, just very good at their jobs to you specifically have all been side promoted here because nobody likes working with you. So, like, your squad's not just, like... but you're also too good.
Reject squad.
They would send you on a suicide mission, and you'd come back, and the rest of your team would be dead, right? And they got 5 of these pricks, so they put them all in one squad, and started sending them on even more suicide missions. And they'd come back about it, but at least the job would be done. I believe you had, like, the 2... Podex squad, which I think is Latin for asshole. What was it? We put the overt in covert.
Yeah, yeah.
And at one point, Dave asked me like, "Why didn't they fucking just orbital bombard this?" And I'm like, "They wanted to be quiet." And I'm like, "Why'd they send us?" And I'm like, "We're not quiet." I'm like, "You're quieter than orbital bombardment." And so that was the other unofficial motto: was quieter than orbital bombardment.
I was gonna say, quite a standard you're being held to there.
Yeah.
That
Real bunch of pricks. Winslade, you had like fucking secret stills set up throughout. They got back from their like mandatory vacation session. God, I love me a mandatory vacation session.
How are you enjoying yours, Winslade? I'm enjoying mine fine.
Mine is not mandatory. Mine is very, very much chosen.
I have
I've
a
been
mandatory
working very
vacation session right now.
No, yeah. So it was that literally every couple of missions, their officers would be like, "No, we have to send them on on leave."
Yeah, we are legally required. We legally have to send these people to have some
Shore leave.
free time.
That's
The issue is that like they've built up enough of it that we can't not do that, but they all hate it.
Yeah.
So I believe the first time you were like put on a Pelican, which then just sort of opened up the back hatch and like just tipped vertically
No, I
and
remember,
just
yeah.
shook
Yeah.
until they all fell out.
Yeah.
They got back from their first mandatory vacation to find the rest of the ship betting like fucking like all of the soldiers were like waiting in the hangar to like settle bets that they'd made on like if someone would have died.
I believe there was
like
a
during
stream
the
of
mandatory
contraband
vacation
and-
session?
Yeah, like someone pulls out like a fucking assault rifle, like from like they weren't meant to have guns and equipment with them on this mission, and so someone walks out of the like
Full
the
tactical
pickup
gear.
in full tactical gear, and like one dude goes woo, because everyone starts handing him money. 'Cause he's like, "Yep, I knew it." And every mandatory vacation session, I'd give the players a medal, which gave a small bonus or something very stupid.
That's really fun.
It's something I've stolen as a as a
works
thing.
really well.
The medal system in Only World
I believe the
Troops, just
first
like
one was every vacation you survived, you got the Happy
Happy
Camper
Camper,
medal, which
yeah.
gave you +1, just +1 in a D100 system, to bear-related tasks.
I believe my character had +5 to bears.
You
at
had
the end.
+5 to bears at the end, which is when you got really deep into the rivalry with the other regiment, the Fighting Bears.
Yeah.
I think you did survive a fist fight with their mascot, which
no.
was a real bear.
Yeah. No,
that
so-
fights?
They pissed it off.
I think I think we had interacted poorly in some way with that bear.
They hated you and you hated them.
Yeah, but I think they were pissed off that we were getting awards at the same time as the bear.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, the bear was getting its like award for doing like something under fire once, and these pricks were getting like medals for like technically making huge achievements that like benefited the war effort.
Yeah,
but also fuck those guys.
But yeah, but it's like, so imagine like an award
they were all
ceremony,
drunk.
an award ceremony where nearly everyone in the party is drunk, and there is nobody there to support them because they are confirmed and historical assholes.
Yeah, nobody that works with them would come to see them win a medal.
Yeah, right. At one point, I think at one point I got pushed. A fight broke out. I got pushed into a crowd and had to fist fight like an entire
Room full of
Marines. And I was winning right up until the last guy.
Yeah, well, because you
all thanks to that +5 for bears.
and the comrade system.
Yeah, and the comrade system.
The comrade system.
Oh, yeah, I think you mentioned the
Yeah,
story.
early
Yeah, the
war,
comrade.
Everyone, to make the squad feel bigger, everyone gets a guy. You get a comrade who's there to, like, you know, they're healthy, they're wounded, or they're dead, but they give you bonuses to helping with things. And so they prevent you getting outnumbered as easily as well. Yeah. So yeah, Winslade and his comrade were able to like back-to-back fight like a room full of Marines for quite a while. Because again, these guys were very good at their jobs.
We were dangerously high XP as well at that point.
Oh, because I love getting at XP.
Yeah, this was very.
You said they were slightly more covert than bombardment. So if we like need to do things more subtly, like if we catch someone like listening to the podcast somewhere that isn't at home or on the bus, should we maybe?
I'm not calling those guys.
I wouldn't call those guys. No.
Fucking like the A-team, right? If you have a problem, if nobody else can help, and I mean like no, you've tried.
Yeah.
You've tried everyone else that might be able to help. If nobody else can help, you might consider it worth hiring.
I'm giving like a pertinent look to Doug right now.
Yeah. God damn.
So much editing work I have to do.
Yeah, no, it's lots of. Oh man.
Winslade, do you have a favorite book in the UniSFA library? Not necessarily like
Surfing Samurai Robots.
What?
Surfing Samurai Robots.
Where? Where is it?
I believe it. Oh, right here.
Oh, excellent.
I have pulled the book from the UniSFA shelves.
It was literally like
this is.
Would you like to read the blurb?
It was literally like the perfect spot for Winslade to reach. Like anywhere else, it would have been awkward.
So the library's been moved around a bunch of times, and traditionally this book has been about down here.
Yeah.
So the fact that it is not like directly at the bottom behind the couch is truly marvelous.
The thing with this book is that Winslade has read it or tried to. I believe it's not very good.
It's not very good. But like, if you like the fact that I can pull out Surfing Samurai Robots, I don't think the
the name gets me every time.
Yeah, like the it's also like the faded pink on the
it's so.
Hold on,
it's dated just by the colors. Used.
I'm searching up. Oh my god! I'm trying to search up the cover.
First printing 1988. Which is honestly
that's
more recent than I thought.
The most recent publication was 2004.
Yeah, that's most recent. We gotta find the original publisher. When was it written?
Oh my god!
Yeah,
it's bad.
It says on the front, a cool book. Mel Gilden is a wry and diligent combination of Douglas Adams and Harry Harrison. By Arthur. That certainly is like an old school sci-fi cover, huh?
Yeah.
Like, you've got a giant, like, robot, who is wearing, like, a Japanese headband.
You have a titular surfing samurai robot who looks jacked, by the way.
He looks jacked. He looks like, whenever you see those memes that have, like, that incredibly, like, jacked guy, it's
me?
that. Yeah, whenever you see a meme with Cam in it, except his body is made of metal. He's wearing a...
Oh, me?
The only thing he's wearing is some Speedos. He's got a surfboard, and he's giving, like, this... very weird look to an almost naked woman. And then there are just some creatures, including a lobster, some sort of bird with a hat, and like...
An alien.
An alien. And then also like a silver, like, cartoon duck.
I had it more as a chicken, but yeah.
Okay.
But yeah.
That is not...
To answer so Surfing Samurai Robot is my favorite book that exists in the UniSFA library. I haven't read it. I can't read it. I've tried several times.
Look, the name gives away. This isn't going to be a masterpiece.
It took too long to get to both the surfing and the samurai robots.
Yeah.
And thus I found my favorite book that is in the UniSFA library will be one of the Pratchetts.
That's fair.
Honestly, Guards. It's just
Guards is very. I finally read
I don't know if we're
Guards.
bringing that in camp. I think I chose a different one to bring on camp.
Well, hold on, which one? Which
I think it was Mort we bringing.
Mort's not bad.
So I was like, okay, we'll bring a Terry Pratchett book on camp because everyone knows that. And I don't know Terry Pratchett books, and no one could give me a straight recommendation of a Terry Pratchett book. I'm like,
Guards. Guards.
Okay, well,
Guards. Monstrous Regiment's very good.
Guards is where I tell people to start.
Yeah,
reading Pratchett.
Guards is a good place to start.
I was like, okay, what's like the first book in the series?
That's
And
not
I've been
helpful.
given a diagram and like,
it's the
okay,
Color
well,
of
there's like 4
Magic.
places you could start. I'm like,
No, the-
just give me
Yeah.
one.
So correct answer is Color of Magic, but I honestly it doesn't quite get
It's
there.
not. Yeah, it's the first chronologically written, but
Yeah.
that's not where you want to start with Pratchett.
I start with Guards because the City Watch stories are pretty
Seminal to the thing.
and also like in terms of like what it's what it is being satirical of, it is like
It's
very
good.
familiar.
Yeah.
Alternatively, I'd say start with Weird Sisters,
Yeah, that's fair.
Weird Sisters.
which is like again a bunch of the Pratchett books are just like totally not something else.
Yeah.
And Weird Sisters is totally not Macbeth.
I can't believe it's not Macbeth.
Oh, you can believe it.
You
Do
can
you
believe
know
it.
the other? Sorry, this reminds me of the other not Macbeth book, which is Just Macbeth by Andy Griffiths. Do you know that?
I've heard of the Just books. I've read a few of the. There's a Just Macbeth.
There's a Just Macbeth, and
Holy shit! I need to find that.
it's
I don't
it's
believe
like
you.
all
on
like
this.
parody. Okay, I'm searching it up. Just Macbeth. It's a real book.
The best Macbeth thing I've
Just
seen
Macbeth
recently.
is an alternate version of William Shakespeare's play Macbeth. It was written by Australian children's author Andy Griffiths.
spectacular.
Uh,
But yeah, no. Jack and I, not recently anymore. I think last year now, watched. We were watching the Kurosaka films,
Oh yeah.
and he has. Is it Castle of Blood? That's just Macbeth. It's very good.
I mean, there's a bunch of things that are just other things.
Oh no, in that it's
Yeah.
it's Macbeth.
Well, I was going
Like
to
in
say
that it was like. That's the
the
thing.
Well, Forbidden Planet is just the Tempest
yeah
in space.
yeah. There's a lot like that.
Yeah. There's also a bunch of things that are not like that. Man, I should. Every now and again, I'm in UniSFA, I'm like, I should run the following screenings. I should run the Dark screening, which was John Carpenter's Dark Star and Garth Marenghi's Dark Place.
oh, we did
Dark
Dark
Place
Place
has been screened
like,
recently, apparently.
last week.
I also missed it.
It was we talked about it in the last podcast.
Yeah.
I want to watch it again. I'd be interested in
They
watching
did,
it with
actually,
you.
where they did, we did Dark Crystal as well at a similar time. So they did a Dark.
Yeah, they
No,
did Dark
no,
without me.
we didn't do. No,
It
we
wasn't
just
the same time, but like on the same episode of the podcast, we got the
we
Dark.
we did do a Dark podcast last time.
The other ones have just screened like the really weird old Who episodes. Like Battlefield, the one with the Space Arthurian Knights.
Yeah.
And the one that's where it's not just heavily implied, it's explicitly stated that the Doctor is Merlin. The wizard, not the...
Not
Not wizard.
Good, you raise a good point. I've
I've got Just Macbeth on my phone here, and
Oh Jesus!
and what I've forgotten about is you know the Just series. They all star like Andy as a kid,
Yeah.
and like various like his friends and like his crush or whatever. Characters: Andy / Macbeth, a schoolboy who becomes Macbeth, Thane of Glamis, later Thane of Cawdor, and then King of Scotland.
Yep.
So it seems like he has been isekai'd into the world of Macbeth.
Spectacular.
Also, it's just got like I forgot these books just have like weird illustrations on the sides of all of them.
Oh yeah, they do.
They are just classic. Also, the page numbers is like a Shakespeare saying the page of silly Shakespeare saying the page numbers. God, I love these books. Send us your favorite children's. What's your favorite children's book? What were you guys reading? You know, as a kid.
I read just those books. Like those were good.
Andy Griffith's classic.
I'm going to
I've
out
read a
myself as
lot
a
of
nerd. It was like the Hobbit and Earthsea trilogy.
So
Fair
that's why you're here.
That's why I
look.
can't leave.
No, yeah, I read a
Destined.
shitload of books.
I read mostly like I was mostly reading like just books like Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
Yeah.
I think I got through Del
Classic.
Toro Quest pretty quick.
We're bringing Del Toro Quest to camp.
Sick.
Yeah,
That's our
that's
quest
the
is dope.
choice.
Del Toro Quest was a book I read, but I have no idea what happens, and I don't think I was understanding what was happening anyway.
That's fair.
Yeah, no,
so you go.
I was going to say, it's like, I don't really have a great ability to retain a bunch of stuff. Like, I'll read. I've
Yeah.
read a bunch of things. I'm like, I have not retained anything, which is why I can say with absolute confidence I've listened to previous episodes of the podcast. But I
The
don't jack
Contcast.
shit about.
Oh, that's fine.
Content
That's normal.
cast.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's
the last book of the first Del Toro Quest series is the first book I remember reading too late at night and being too deliriously tired to properly remember what happened after that. In that I was like, I remember being like, wow, I finished that book. That was really weird. And then like being like, I don't really remember how that makes sense or anything. And then like trying it again a couple years later and being like, oh, I was fucking destroyed.
That's just kind of how I consume books in general, because I just kind of like.
Sorry, my alarm's going off.
Well, I was going to say is that we know there's new Sanderson stuff coming out.
oh my god, is there ever new Sanderson
Well, we know
coming
specifically it's the fourth book of the Alley of Law trilogy.
Yeah.
out? The fourth book? Yes, the fourth one.
Yeah, and
The fourth book of the
Yeah.
The fourth book of the trilogy. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Well, that's my favorite Douglas Adams bit as well. But going on. But like I was sitting there going like, I remember these characters, right?
Yeah, it's been a while. You got to catch up on the
But
plots.
like I have no recollection of any of the core plot.
That's why I never finished Wheel of Time, because I'm up to the last book, but I'd have to reread it.
Oh my god.
I
Wheel
had a
of Time is such
similar
a
problem.
it's a slog.
Well, speaking of like the books I was reading as a kid, it was like the Aragon series as well, because you'd like
Bring that to camp.
no,
Just the
so
first
average.
Yeah, the thing
It's
with Aragon is
beloved.
that it's not very. Look, it's fine.
Look,
I haven't
I'm
read it.
beloved.
I
but
haven't
I will
read
still
it.
say I'm average.
Aww.
And
Look, I haven't read it. I just know a lot of people are fans of it.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
I didn't want to only bring books I knew.
Aragon was
camp.
very impressive. Oh shit, sorry. Very impressive, especially given like how young Paolini was when he wrote it.
yeah,
We
But
had-
like,
we
it's like the membership can read better books.
I'm getting
very
flashbacks
easily.
to
I can
2 years ago.
Yeah,
joint
it
camp,
was
the
the Aragon
Aragon
ending
debate
good.
that lasted a really long time.
Some of the ending of Aragon was very bad. Some of it was okay.
I thought, yeah, it seemed like a lot of people agreed that the ending wasn't great.
It had some neat moments, but like, yeah, a bit of a cop out to me.
Yeah, there are better books to read, and I can see several of them from here on account of being in a library. Yeah, I like hell, like even right in the top corner, like of the bigs,
Big books.
of the big
The large books?
Yeah, we've got Rivers of London, and we've got
Oh yeah, Rivers of London, very good.
the
apparently.
Joy Abercrombie series.
Joe Abercrombie. You got to be in the right mindset for it, I think.
Yeah, I would agree with that, but it is like it's visceral,
Yeah.
and like if you're ready for visceral, it's very, very good. But Rivers of London is fantastic. And fun facts with Winslade, Ben Aronovich was one of the lead writers for Doctor Who.
Oh, nice.
It's specifically.
Ben Aronovich.
Are you doing a Doctor Who bit, John?
Yeah.
Son of a bitch. You got me.
I
But,
also didn't really know that person, but like,
yeah, but he was a lead writer during. To come back to it, the Space Arthurian Night part of
Nice.
Doctor Who. So yeah, yeah, very, very much like River of London series.
there's so many freaking books in this library, most of which have never been read.
Yeah.
I kind of want to challenge myself to read every book, but also it's impossible.
No,
Don't do it.
No, don't do it. You can't. You
Also,
can't
a
do it.
lot of these books are like, they're not worth it, man.
Yeah.
Not every book in this library is good.
Some
That's
are.
fine.
I'll look to the right this time and see if I can find a book that is also terrible.
I believe.
I mean, there's always fucking Surfing Samurai Robots, a book that sucks. In theory, right? Were we to take Surfing Samurai Robots, take the pages out, and just like keep the cover?
yeah,
I would
More
have the
value to
same
the club
value.
room.
It would have the same value to me.
More.
I said
More value to the club because it wouldn't take up space.
We could turn it into a book vault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
we should have a vault in the floor that we store books in.
Would it be... I guess it would only be illegal if we sold it, but we could fucking riff tracks that book.
What?
Could
We
Where
could
we
what?
like... We like MST3K it. We just like... We write our own book about surf and samurai robots.
Again, I feel like that would
It
require
would be
a
a
level
lot
of
of work.
understanding of the source material that would kill me.
No, I think the whole point is that it's not the source material.
Yeah, but like,
Okay, if we were to like read the chapters and like then be like, let's rewrite that, but good.
Okay, everyone
without knowing
reads.
what the, like it's a.
We don't need to know where it's going.
It's a murder mystery, I think.
You what?
I think.
All right.
We all assign a different chapter to a different person. Therefore, no one it stops the problem of not being able to read all of
Honestly,
it, and
I
then
kinda-
everyone
I kinda
writes one chapter.
Do like this idea as a writing challenge for camp or something.
Yeah.
Where you just kind of go, I'm going to give you a title of a real book in UniSFA, and I need you guys to give me a short story or an excerpt.
Oh, that's fucking excellent! It's so sad that camps weren't even planned.
The issue is that this book was already written as a bit, most likely. This
Yeah.
doesn't seem like someone was I have a story to tell. Here.
I want.
No, again, my core problem with it was that I couldn't get to the surfing samurai robots in the parts that I was reading. I was struggling.
I think that's a brilliant idea. We give them these weird book titles, and then we give one person just Lord of the Rings. Fucking write
Jack,
Lord of
I
the
want
Rings.
you to rewrite Lord of the Rings, but make it good this time. Thanks.
I tell someone Homestuck. I'm write home. I want you to write a piece called Homestuck,
Yeah, I'm trying to remember.
and they write something infinitely better.
Unfortunately, because of book, I was librarian during a time before book removal, so all of the things that I know as terrible UniSFA books have since been book removed.
I mean, we still
Glory
have.
too.
We definitely still have some.
We've got some.
Yeah, but
I'm very glad we got rid of fucking wrench and bolts.
I'm 90% confident we got rid of the Joy of Cybersex.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah,
I know. I know where that is now. I just know the person who took it.
Ah, okay.
They were very happy to get it.
Yeah. Okay. Disappointing.
Apparently, it was a good book. I don't know.
I mean,
Look, it was not for the UniSFA library.
No, definitely not. It was not sci-fi.
yeah.
The
Wish-
word cyber does not science fiction make. It
Um,
implies.
Yeah, there was a point in time when there were just a bunch of the very strange books. I can't remember what it was, but I'm 90% certain that there was a book in the UniSFA library where faster than light travel was achieved by boinking.
By what? Oh, boinking.
Yeah. Going at it.
I would be surprised if there was only one.
Yeah,
To be honest, that's
Old
The thing
sci-fi
is that
authors
a lot
do
of
love
old
faster than light travel and also weird sex things.
well. The thing is, right? Just because they're less success, the only reason that there are a lot less weird, horny sci-fi books is because they're not as successful, right? I'm sure just as many are being written.
Yeah, that's true. Perhaps that's probably because I've got an alternate outlet for weird and horny. It doesn't
They can just make
necessarily
that
have to go
content.
into Pulp Fiction, just be put up,
But yeah,
posted online.
But yeah, back 20, 30 years ago, you wanted to write something weird and horny, you could just do that, and
I mean, you can do it now. People just put it on AO3.
but not as many people were doing it. So you could make that a real book. God knows, sometimes I'll read a really good classic old sci-fi series, and I'll be pushing through weird horny shit that I'm this is a lot, or it's this is deeply uncomfortable in a way that they don't seem to have realized, and I'm ooh.
I wonder if that was just the expectation of sci-fi back in the day. The people
Oh,
who
a
were
bit,
reading
yeah.
sci-fi were just
Yeah, no,
I mean, if
at
you
least a little
observe
bit.
old sci-fi covers,
yeah, old
right? Hold on,
and fantasy.
Where's my man Michael Moorcock?
That's just his name. You are in the Moorcock zone over there.
No, this is H's. I think it's.
Oh, that's G, actually.
Yeah, we've moved a lot.
Good lord. All right, Pratchett's there, so it should be Kerr's there. It's down under the couches there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I can't remember if it's all of Michael Moorcock stuff, but a lot of it is that very big, very 80s sci-fi covers where it is.
I'm just gonna search it up. I don't need to go find it.
female.
Yeah.
Right, tits out. Sci-fi
Gun.
cover. Yeah,
There is-
Gun or Sword.
I know at least one book in the UniSFA library, or at least I don't know if we still have it or if I replaced it with a different book. But it is this cover is just a naked lady.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing though. There are a lot of those out there because you have to find a way to.
It was easy to
sell-
market to fucking people with that, too.
Yeah, well, I mean, that.
Oh, John, you got the remote?
Well, pow.
Bam,
That didn't work, John.
bam, bam, bam. I'm holding it
Bing, bam,
backwards.
bop, bada boop, bam, pow.
Oh. Did not want to scream into the mic, as appropriate as that was.
Yeah,
recorded.
I broke up with my ex-girl. Here's a number. Psych! That's the wrong number.
yeah. There sure is a lot of.
Look up Super Hot Fire, the greatest rapper of all time.
Yeah.
There sure is a lot of like just tits out on these covers, huh?
Yeah.
Yep. You can stop looking at the covers now, John.
There's not many though. I only found like 2, and then a lot of the others were just like that very classic sci-fi.
Yeah.
It might be that I've I think that I have may have conjoined the
This
two
one's
things,
pretty
which is
cool.
classic sci-fi and tits out.
This is a
Well, it's
cool
also the
cover.
classic fantasy had a lot of that as well.
Classic fantasy.
That looks like a more recent cover.
It does.
Like, that's clearly not the cover that book was released with.
Or maybe he's just I think he's still writing books.
Oh, if he's still
maybe.
writing, that would do it.
I think he's still live.
There's more cock to come.
Yeah.
English writer. Yeah, he still is.
And we're gonna get Michael Moorcock on.
Michael Moorcock, if you want to come on our podcast...
We'd love to have more cock on the podcast.
We'd love to have Moorcock on the podcast, you're right. We promise to only make fun of your name a little bit, man. Hey, look, we don't stop
He's
making fun
used
of
to it
Ben
by
Bova, and he's dead.
Yeah.
What's the other one?
Ben Bova?
No, but there's another like funny
Oh, there's some fucking funny names in here, dude.
Yeah.
Cameron.
Yeah.
Okay. I think it's about time we can end the podcast.
We can
We're at
wrap
one.
this one
We're
up.
1.5 hours.
I've got an appointment to go to.
Winslade, do you have any final thoughts?
Right?
Fuck.
He does this to me every week.
I thought this.
I did this to everyone, including myself, every week.
My final thought is look after yourselves and engage in these club spaces. These are very, very important. Yeah, if I had one piece of advice to any student, is engage in your clubs.
Yeah.
Winslade, that was a really great final thought. Cam, do you have a final thought?
Yeah, just because they're surfing robots doesn't mean that the classism involved in being a samurai isn't still a problem.
Oh shit, dude! I'm going to talk to you about this later. We could just keep going.
Final thought. I had one, but it's gone out of my brain.
Never had a thought in my life.
Cam's stolen my thought.
Thoughts come in threes, and unfortunately, I don't have that many.
Yeah.
What?
I was going somewhere, and then I decided to not go there, John.
Fair enough. My final thought is, talking about UniSFA. No, did I already mention the UniSFA history of the? Have I mentioned on any podcast War of the Ring?
Oh no, you haven't.
Yeah.
No. Okay.
Yeah, you
we have a.
You haven't mentioned this. Did you ever mention the trophy?
The trophy.
Oh, I think it meant War of the Ring, the video game.
Yeah.
This is also what. God damn it! I love the trophy and the fact that we were so good at laser tag that we
Fucking love laser tag.
were so good at laser tag we forced the Curtin Sci-Fi Club to shut down.
The last time I was at laser tag, it was my youngest brother's birthday, and as the oldest sibling, I got to fucking annihilate everyone.
Last time I was at
Great.
laser tag, there was a kid who was wearing sunglasses the whole time who was heaps into it, and you
yeah.
better believe that was a kid I shot first.